Hey everybody, this is Jackie from Jacqueline Ann Designs, and welcome to my channel. If you have never been here before, you might know that I have interests. You might not know, excuse me, that I have interest in fiber arts of all sorts, fiber and fabric arts. Uh, I also love to do multimedia of all sorts, and I am really getting into quilting, and in particular starting to enjoy collage quilting, which I'll talk about all those other items on separate videos that have to deal with them. Today we're here to talk about counted cross stitch. Now, before I go any further, I want to get some business out of the way. First of all, here to my right is my little puppy. She is insisting on sitting there right now. I tried moving her, didn't work. See, she really needs a trip to the groomer. But anyway, she likes to insert herself in on whatever we're doing. So that may happen, or she may bark if someone comes, goes in and out of the garage out there. So hopefully that won't happen. We'll have a nice quiet thing. The other thing is I am working from my chair. I'm recuperating from a health issue. I don't really want to go into it right now, but suffice it to say, everything is fine. I'm just getting better. Also, you may get glimpses of the room around me. I live in a very, very tiny, I call it my studio. It started out, it was just going to be a studio, and I was just going to be here when I was in town from my travels. I'm retired, and my goal is to travel around in my van, and I just wanted a place to have my studio, my sewing machines, etc., like that. And my brother and his wife really helped me out with that. But right now I'm actually staying in it because of some problems with the camper van. And as I said, I've been dealing with some health issues for about a year now, which are kind of coming to a head, thankfully. But the van is still a working issue. So, no, but we will get that done by spring. So by spring, I will be on the road quite a bit. Which brings me to one of the reasons I wanted to get down and do some counted cross stitch this year. But the room that you're looking at behind you, the studio, it's a mess. I've been in the process of rearranging it, literally tearing everything down. There's a lot of boxes piled up, things piled up in general, and I keep moving them from one place to the other as I'm trying to figure out a place to keep everything. This is very, very tiny area, so it's kind of miraculous that I've got a refrigerator, a freezer, and a kitchen galley there. I've got a multimedia area. Then I have a sewing area with a huge horn sewing cabinet. And then my bed. Then I have a shelf over there where I keep my clothes. I have set up a craft area for my niece over here. And then I have my chair and an end table. If you saw how tiny this place was, it would be amazing to you that I had all that in here. So, well, I'm doing some revamping of it. Some stuff's going to be gone. I'm trying hard to make more room and turn it to where it looks a little more livable. So anyway, so if you see all of that around me, that's what's going on. I wanted to come to you today and talk about my 2025 plans for counted cross stitch. But before I do that, I want to tell you a little bit about my history with counted cross stitch. I grew up maybe doing some cross stitches as a single stitch or a grouping of stitches on regular embroidery. If there was counted cross stitch at that time in my life, I did not know about it. Then there weren't really fabric stores as such in the area where I lived. I don't know if they even existed in general at that time. And of course, we did not have the internet. I'm 66 and a half, almost 67. So at that time, we really didn't have all of that. We at least that I knew about in my world. We didn't have, if there were quilting stores and all of that, there were none in my little town or the slightly larger city that was nearest to us. So I knew what I knew about was in the world around me. Now, they did a Kmart. There was a Kmart in the neighboring town that started carrying some little counted cross-stitch kits that had Aida cloth in it, and eventually they started carrying the loose DMC thread, individual, where you could buy the individual bundles and some patterns and things like that. But at that particular time, it wasn't until later in life I started seeing craft stores like Hancock's. Benjamin Franklin was a big one, and Hancock Fabrics, and then Joann's, and then Michael's, and then Hobby Lobby's. And that's when I started really finding out about all the different things out there. But I still didn't realize that there were quilt shops, I just didn't. I started getting involved with my career, and I was quite a workaholic. And so now here I am starting to get involved. And while there were times that I did do projects, I started realizing about all the different things out there. I just did not ever take the time to get back into it because of my career. And here I am, retired now, planning to start trying to work around 1 day a week here soon. But in general, I'm retired and on a fixed income. And what I'm planning on doing is adding counted cross stitch into the different things that I do about with fiber arts. See, there's Sweetie Pie peeking in, checking to see what I have. And so I'm going to talk to you about my counted cross stitch plans for the year. Now, I do want to tell you that I'm having some vision issues. These will be resolved. I just need to get a LASIK procedure done to my eyes, which probably will happen in March or April. I'm not sure yet. And once that's done, I might be able to try some linen. But, really, it's not such a bad thing since I'm basically starting over like a brand new beginner again. Pretty much am a brand new beginner. So, because the terminology is different than what I ever remember it being, anything. But I want to tell you what my plans are for 2025. And as far as getting started on things, what I end up finishing at the end of the year will be another thing in its entirety. We shall see. There are some things that I have definite plans for to finish, and then we'll go from there. Now, first of all, I'm going to talk about things that are patterns and not kits. And then I'll get into a stack of kits I've got over here. One of the things that I want to do is 12 mini Christmas projects. And this book here, this magazine, which is now off the shelf, it was only on the newsstands until January the 13th. But I mean, it could be any Christmas book, really. But this has got tons of littles in it. So I'm going to get started on one of these. And I think there's a couple of them here that I have the things that I need to do. So I'll pick one of the ones that I already have the Aida cloth for, and we'll go from there. Which I imagine what it would either be the angel, the cat, or the Christmas tree would be my first ones, and then we'll go from there. But I hope to do 12 of these throughout the year, over the next 11 and a half months, and they'll come out of this magazine. The other thing is I like littles, and I've got some big projects coming up that you'll see, but I like littles, and I love bookmarks. I'm an avid reader, and I just love bookmarks. I picked up this. I guess I must have ordered it. It looks to me, I found when I was going through my stash. I'm not longer at this address, so I don't have to worry about it. But this order from Starlight Stitchery, from 2021, and it looks like at the time I kitted out at least one of these projects, if not both of them, that I'm about to show you with thread. And then I also bought an additional pattern. And so, and this is called the Starlight Stitchery out of Corvallis, Oregon. So I must have somehow seen them on social media or something. Otherwise, I don't know how I would have known about them. But it looks like I placed an order. And so I got these bookmarks, and these are done on Aida cloth. So I'll in the spring, sometime in the spring, I will be kitting these out and getting these done. I just love them. Of course, like I said, I am a bookmark freak, so you'll probably almost always see me having bookmarks in my works in progress. Then I took these out of the bags so that you wouldn't have to look at the reflections. I'm going to do this one. This is a Teresa Kogut cross-stitch pattern, and this one is done on a 32 count linen, but I think I am going to do this on Aida, and I saw how to calculate online the Aida that you need, but anyway, this is oops, sweet pie. No. So this, as I said, it's available at teresakogut.com, and it is talks about Psalms 91:11. For he will command his angels to guard you in all your ways. Psalms 91:11. And it says it's stitched 2 over 2 on 32 stitch count. And I still have to learn what that 2 over 2 means. And it will be finished. It will be 9.5 by 7 inches. So with a stitch count of 151 by 111. So I have a lot to learn. I don't know what on earth they're talking about there. So this is the pattern for that. I used to love doing letters, so I love the fact that she sent this pattern. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but definitely will be handy to have. But it came free with when I placed this order through the Starlight Stitchery. I will be doing this one. I think it's cute as a bug's ear. And it was a pattern that came free with this order. The only thing is it's patterned out for sulky cotton. None of my threads that I currently have are sulky cotton. So I'm probably going to find out. I'm sure there's a DMC conversion that I can find online. But look at her. It's called The Moo the Merrier. And it's designed by Jeannie McGowan. And it says the Blue Flower. The Moo the Merrier -2021. So I'm thinking it must have come with this patterns, this group of patterns that I ordered. And another one they sent that I'm also going to do kit out is this one called Ah 'Tis Spring. And there's it's a folksy type one with a sheep. So I think it looks really cute. And it actually looks very, very simple. It doesn't say how big it turns out, but it looks like it's a small one. 1, 2, 3. And it's a complimentary chart by Annie B's Folk Art. And it's Annie B's Folk Art, and then it has a copyright by Annie Belcher on it. So I'll be doing that. And then a biggie. I mean, this one is going to be a challenge, but yet I love peacocks. So this is a peacock sampler. I'm looking on here to see if yeah. The model was stitched on a Zweigart Lugana 25 count. 2 strands over 2 with all DMC flosses. But the pattern says 14 count. So, okay, that's if you use Aida Rustico. So, which is probably what I am going to use. Aida Rustico. But look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And another one that I have is a all red sampler, and I could not find that one. It's actually a kit that I found at a Goodwill thrift store, and it had everything in it. It looked like the red threads. It's an all red kit. I'm a little concerned that all the red was in it. I can't find it right now, but it is one I'm planning on starting, and at the time I will when I get ready. Okay, so that was excuse me, and I am back, and Sweetie Pie's getting settled back in. I moved her, so she's not going to like that. And I'm going to talk about now different kits that I have, and you know what they are, and a couple of them have a purpose. There is one kit here that excuse why Sweetie Pie settles in, that I cannot find, just like the red one I told you about. And that one is from the national parks. I spent 2 summers working for the nonprofit in Yellowstone National Park, and loved it there. And one of the things, and I worked in the nonprofit's gift store. And one of the things they had there were these little embroidery kits. And they're for small things. And what I decided to do was get the kits and make them to put inside of a journal, a memories journal that I'm going to make as part of, because those who know me know I love to junk journal. And one of them that you cannot see here is actually a all the different flora and multiple different types of flora and fauna that are in Yellowstone National Park. And I cannot find it, but it's totally kitted out, and it will be another one that once I find it, I will show you once I get it started. Now, this one is one that I picked up, tried to start several times, and because of just never did do it, as you can see right there. So it's kind of a work in progress. However, I have a tendency to, when I sit down to cross stitch or embroidery, any kind of, do my regular embroidery, I have a tendency to always have either a soda with me, a glass of iced tea, or a coffee. And so I imagine it looks like there was an incident with it. I'm going to try to clean it or tea dye it. I think that this project would look good with it tea dyed, because I hate to waste the fabric. But I am going to be doing this, and it's just the size of a little pin cushion, and I'm actually not going to make it into a pin cushion. I'm going to sew it. It's actually going to look like some raw edges. I'll zigzag around the edge of it so that it doesn't come all unraveled, and then I'm going to it'll have a place in my memory journal when I get done. So that's one that I'll be doing here pretty soon, because I need to finish that journal up. Now, this is another kit that I don't know where I got it. I don't know how long I got it. Apparently I got it at Hobby Lobby, and I can't imagine that I would have paid $13.99 for a kit there, but it looks like I did. Or if someone just gave this to me, I honestly don't know. But it's called Stacked Teacups. And it contains all the thread. It's on 18 count white Aida. And it's a design by Susan Wingett. It's a Dimensions kit, Gold Collection Petite. So it's a small kit. It ends up, I believe, being 5 by 7 inches when you're done with it. And it's never been opened. Everything is here. So that one is going to be started. Now, these are a bunch of kits that are coming up that are secondhand. I think they come from China. I've never really seen anything like them. I can tell you that if they had not been so inexpensive, I just paid a couple of dollars each for them all, each one. But I probably wouldn't have gotten them because, and I'll explain my problems with them as I go, but yet at the same token, who can beat that? They were just on Marketplace and for a couple dollars each. So, and now this one, the sample, they're all full coverage, by the way, every one of these that I'm about to show you. So This one, I don't know if this what the count is. Let me see, per 10 per inch. I'm gonna have to sit down and count it, but it says it can turn out 2 sizes. They're on IATA, as you can see, and they're a real stiff IATA. But anyway, there's very few instructions with these. And also the Aida cloth has got this, and it doesn't appear to be the picture of the item. They come with a paper pattern as well. It doesn't appear to be a picture of the item. It's more of a color code that's imprinted. I'll show you on one of the others. I don't want to take this all the way off and make you listen to the crinkling, but that is imprinted, and some of these have that grid printed on them and others don't. I am very interested in the grid concept. So I don't know what the count is. We're going to have to figure it out and read the instructions. But they're very stiff. I don't think that I will need, I don't think that I'll need to hoop them because, and they're also, the fabric is fairly large. So I think the size of them is pretty large. But if you look at the picture, if it turns out anything like the picture, it's absolutely gorgeous. Definitely very Asian looking. And there's not a brand name on it. So there could have been other paperwork on it. There is a thing here that briefly shows you how to do the how to cross stitch. And it's telling you here to use 3 strands. Oh, no, it says use 2 or 3, whichever you like, it says. Now, see, you take the picture out. It's pretty glossy, but you get kind of a better idea of what it is. So, I don't know. We're going to see. I don't know how well my eyes are going to do with the busyness of this imprint on there. But I think you'll be able, if you've ever seen any of these kits, I think you'll be able to tell what I'm talking about. It's more of a pattern than it is an actual imprint of what it is that you're doing. Now, this is another one that's the same way. It comes with this paper pattern, which to me, you can't tell anything by looking at the pattern. So it just seems to be a key for the colors of the thread you're going to use. And then, but if you look at the picture here, it's the picture. I don't know if I can get it. Let me see. Looks like it's a very beautiful tree, like a tapestry looking thing. So, I don't know. I think once we get it going, I wish that it came. But like I say, these were... Oh, here you can see some of the grid on the fabric. Like I said, they don't look like the picture at all. It strictly has to do with the color code of embroidering it. And for me, I'm sitting here looking at this picture. And the color code in the picture does not look anything like the color code over here. So that's a little confusing. Tells you how to wash and get the printing and the grid off of it. I'm going to pull this one out. Once that colored grid, you can see the tree. But it's a totally different color than what's on the paper pattern. So I'm finding that a little confusing. Oh, see, they've got it here with a different grid for the different threads. With a different, yeah. I don't know. Like I say, there's not even a brand name on it. Kind of interesting. So there's 2 of them like that without a brand name. Now this one is like that as well. Same kind of a grid type marking. We're going to see how creative I am. But I love this one. I absolutely love florals. If it turns out, I think the main reason I wanted to get back into Counted Cross Stitch is samplers. But I love florals, so if it turns out that beautiful, and it's another one, it's a pretty good sized canvas, and it's got, if you look at it, it's got stitches to be worked along the entire canvas. So, and it has even less paperwork with it than the other one did. Well, I don't know, here's the pattern, maybe. It's got that same green form with it. And if it says embroidered map lines do not exceed the 5. And then it says down here, if you're doing 9 count cloth, use 4 strands. If your cloth is 11 count, use 3 strands. If your cloth is 14 counts, use 2 strands. So I guess what I need to do is figure out what count this cloth is, the fabric is, and then I will know. So that one though, this will be good because I've never seen those kind of kits, and you know these kits look very, very similar. They're just all branded differently. And they'll have different paperwork now because there was similar stuff along with the paperwork on those, or maybe because I bought them used. I mean, they haven't been used in that they haven't been stitched at all. I mean, they don't even look like they've been taken apart as far as any of the thread and everything. It's still folded in there just like new. So, but this one's branded and it's Bill Ross Cross Stitch. And this one's of the Last Supper. And I don't know if Bill Ross is, it says that's the register. So I don't know if that's the name of the designer. Because if you see this other one that I'm about to show you, it looks exactly the same. And that one's called Joy Sunday. And everything about it's the same, other than the brand name. The papers are the same, everything. So I don't know. But this one is the same thing. Everything's imprinted. I don't know if this one's a total coverage and all that white is going to be from the wall there is going to be stitched in. We'll find out as we go because I can't tell from the picture. But I'm looking forward to getting that one started. And then also, I've seen some other people on YouTube doing this one. And she had even more of them there than this, but this one's 11 count. So to use 3 strands. And this one here says it's a 14 count. And it says to use 2 strands on it. So we shall see, but I didn't buy all of them that she had. I couldn't decide because I had never seen things were done that way, you know, as far as all that printing on the Aida cloth. But I do like the idea. I'm worried that that's just going to get in the way and be kind of busy. But who knows? Maybe it'll be helpful. And but nonetheless, very inexpensive way to get started and try to get my skills back. Get some skills built is the way I'm looking at it. So $2 a piece for these kits. So anyway. You know, and even the plastic and everything in these is different than these. So I do think they're at least marketed by a different company. Some of the paperwork that's in them looks very similar, but not exactly the same. So I don't know. We shall see. And we'll see what all I get started, and I'll show you as a finish and everything else. I plan on doing a floss tube once, maybe twice a month for now. We'll see as I get projects going how often I do it. But right now, I think it's a once a month thing because I'm just getting started and I'm not going to be fast at it. And I've got so many other things that will be coming on the channel that, and I think these will keep me going for the year. So, as slow as I am on things. So, without further ado, I hope you guys, any tips that you can give me is, like a total beginner, just put it in the bottom. And just understand I am operating on a very ultra strict budget right now. So I won't be buying even buying anything. So, so I'm totally in a no spend January and February and a very low spend March. So, and then I'll have a regular crafting budget once I hit, and I call it crafting, but I should call it arts and crafts for some reason. I think that, but anyway, and that will begin in April of this year that I'll have that. So anyway, we'll talk to you guys later. And Sweetie Pie says goodbye. And she's all comfy and cozy down there right now. Our water froze. Forgive me for leaving and restarting the video in the middle. We got down into the single digits here last night and my water froze. And so I had all my pipes wide open, heaters running full blast at that end of the apartment, and it came on and was going full blast right in the middle of my creating this video. So I did have to leave and go fix that. So that's what that was all about. Talk to you guys at the next video. Bye-bye.